Hello, my name is Thibaut and welcome to the second channel. Now, as you can probably immediately tell, is the fact that there is a lot of sunshine outside. Because usually I record these things at night, I stream at night, so my camera settings are made for, darker settings. So you're just gonna deal with this even brighter than usual, Thibaut. As per usual, a no script is just me talking about something. That's about it. I don't have tea with me this time, because it is noon, so there's a little soup going on today. Lovely. And of course, today's subject is something that has been in the spotlight for the past couple of weeks or so, and it's Dragon's Dogma. Now, where do I even begin with this game? Let me give you the context as into how I discovered Dragon's Dogma, because I feel like I'm not alone in this, where I thought Dragon's Dogma was actually like some kind of very old MMORPG. Funny enough, there is actually an MMO version. Turns out, it's not that. It's actually a single-player game with AI teammates. Pretty much like we got in like FF15. Only this time, they actually do something. Because usually, like your party members, like you have like AI party members, they usually don't do anything. You can like combo with them sometimes, but they don't actually do anything usually. But yeah, with the announcement of Dragon's Dogma 2, and then there was a sale on the first one, I was like, you know what? Let me check it out. I didn't know that the game was, first of all, made by Capcom. Didn't know that. And I especially didn't know about the almost Monster Hunter-like gameplay. And I'm just gonna preface this whole video by just saying that Dragon's Dogma might be my all-time favorite game. Now, I hate hyping up games. Like, I hate seeing hype about anything as well, because it's just expectations can never be met. You get like delusion in your head, like what the game should be, and then blah 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 blah. So if you haven't played Dragon's Dogma and you're planning to, I'd recommend not watching this video and just going. It's probably on sale again for like €5. Just play it. It's a pretty short game, and I just want to give you a blank slate. Just like go in there and check it out, because I swear to God, like expectations ruins fun. With that said, this game might be my new like all-time #1 game all time, which is crazy because it's a very old game. And if you've seen my stuff, if you know my stuff, you know I'm a very big fan of good-looking games. Graphics, 4K resolution. I got the 4090 just to play on like that one single frame more on ultra settings. And this game obviously is like, I think 12 years old. And it just fucking shattered all my beliefs. Now, my #1 game for the past 14 years has been a very specific game. I don't want to spoil it because I want to make a video about this. But I'm scared now that I've played Dragon's Dogma. I'm like, oh wait, maybe it's just nostalgia speaking, right? Maybe like the game that I played back then wasn't like, it was, I loved it. Don't get me wrong, like, I still love it. But do I love the game or do I love the idea of it? Because I don't dare to replay that game. I'm afraid I'm gonna like it less. And Dragon's Dogma just, well, for me, came out of nowhere. It felt like the game was made for me. You know how like, you like certain things, right? Maybe you like MOBAs, maybe you like shooters. But there's like something you don't like. It's almost like, oh, I like this, but this kind of annoys me. Like, oh, I wish it was this. And like, you realize there will never be a perfect game for you. There will never be like a perfect game, because they're not tailor-made, right? They're made to attract a wider audience, and it's never going to be like exactly how you want it. But this game somehow ticks every box in my fucking autistic checklist. Like, for example, let's say Monster Hunter. I love Monster Hunter. I love the gameplay. It's so cool, like the boss fights and grappling them and doing blah blah blah. But I'm not a big fan of the tribal setting. I think it fits in the world for sure. But like, not a big fan of the tribal setting. I still have like 500 hours in Monster Hunter World. But like I said, you kind of live with the fact that games aren't perfectly made for you. Now, guess what? You know what else I like? Knights. I love medieval stuff. I love like, fantasy stuff. And here comes fucking Dragon's Dogma, right? That's Monster Hunter gameplay, but fantasy. There's a lot of classes you can play on one character. The exact same system I love in Final Fantasy XIV. The game is short, allows for a lot of replayability. Exactly like Dark Souls 3. And there's actually a grindy end game to get like the best loot with like loot boxes, just like RPGs. It's taking literally like every aspect I love about certain games and just put it all together. And after playing this game for like 70 hours now, I think, Keep in mind, the story is like 20 to 30 hours, and I'm 70 hours in. I came to the realization like, oh my god, this game was made for me. So me being this hype about this might not necessarily apply to you, but that's not gonna stop me from gushing about this game. To paint you a picture as to how much I'm loving this game is, I am now in my 3rd New Game Plus, going in hard mode. This is the first New Game. I'm 26 years old, by the way. This is the first New Game Plus I have ever done in any game. I have a lot of games to play. I do not like long games. I like shorter games so I can finish them and I can move on to the next game, because I got a lot of games to play. I still have like half my Steam library still unplayed, untouched. But somehow this game got me to press new game and new game and new game again. It's wild. I've never felt like this. I've never felt this need to like, oh my god, I want to like just jump back in that game. No other game in my life has ever done this to me. And of course, now Dragon's Dogma 2 is very close in the horizon. Maybe by the time this video comes out, it's already like released. And I'm of course very lucky as a very new Dragon's Dogma fan, because of course the people that liked that game 12 years ago have been waiting 12 years for a sequel. So in that aspect, I'm very lucky. But at the same time, I'm like, bro, I need time to digest this game. I need some more time to, you know, put this game somewhere in like a good spot in my brain. But in like a week or two, I already have to like, listen to me. I want to play the second game, but I'm still wildly invested in the first game at the moment. And what a great game. Like, I don't even know if I should like make an actual video about this. It's a 12-year-old game, and the second one is on the horizon, so I don't think it's worth it. That's why I'm making this video, so kind of just get it out of my system. It's like, oh my god, wow, this game, bro. Actually, as I'm making this video, I'm trying to do a 100% run of this game. Because the only other game I have ever 100%ed on Steam is that previous #1 game that I talked about. And I was like, bro, I gotta get this to 100%. And I've been just grinding away. Like, I had to do like, that was like the most difficult quest that I actually got done. Most difficult quest, difficult achievement is to get like all the quests. All the side quests, all the stuff, like all the hidden stuff. And I followed the guide and like went through the whole game. It was kind of a slug. Is that a word? Slug? A thrug? There's a word for it. I don't know. I think it's slug. No, slug is a fucking... That's the animal, escargot. But I got the achievement, and I'm close. Oh, I'm close to getting that sweet 100%. My girlfriend, like, came in the room a couple of hours ago, and I was, like, telling her about this. She's like, oh, what do you get? Like, what do you mean? What do you get for, like, getting all the achievements? Like, bitch, don't take this from me, okay? I get a nice feeling inside. That's what I get. I didn't call my girlfriend a bitch. I love her very much. Now, this is not like a review or something of the game, so I'm not gonna be explaining all the mechanics, because I never get reviews where like they just explain the game to you and like that's it. Like, I don't get it. I'm just gonna talk to you about the parts of the game that like just really stood out to me and I really enjoy. Let's start with the stamina system. First of all, that's probably also the only thing that's kind of sucks about the game. It's like you have to like run everywhere, right? There's no like horse, there's no like mount. There is fast travel, but mainly you like run everywhere. But you also need your stamina to run, but also to do skills and spells and stuff. So when you run somewhere, you get ambushed, you have like 5 stamina left because it regens very slowly. You're kind of fucked, right? So it's like, oh my god, you know, it's kind of annoying traversing the world with you know, when your stamina, like you gotta walk and I'll wait and I'll run and I'll wait and guess what? In the second game, little side, little keynote, stamina is now unlimited out of combat. I'm like, oh my god, bro. They literally like fixed my one little gripe with the game. They just like, oh yeah, can we please put it in the first game as well? Little update, little patch. Come on. But yeah, the stamina system in this game is amazing. Like I said, you use your stamina for skills, spells, and the like. But when you run out of stamina, like you're low on stamina, obviously you don't want to run out of stamina because you'll go into like a stun animation and stuff. Don't want that. Gotta manage it. But like while in other games where you're low on stamina, you just gotta like run away, wait for stamina to come back. In this game, you can still do basic attacks. So like your basic light, basic heavies do not require stamina. In fact, it doesn't even pause your stamina. It just, you know, your stamina goes up. And that makes the game just, like, it's just that small thing makes the game so I don't want to say, I think aggressive is the wrong word. Like, active? Active. I bit my tongue. So you're doing like your big skills, big damage, doing all that stuff, all your low stamina, doesn't matter. Like, you weave in some basic attacks in between there to like recharge your stamina. And then by the time like you're done basic attacking, the skills are back and like boom, and it just keeps going. And it's so organic and active, and it's such a cool system. I love it. It's so much fun. Another thing that's great is, of course, the map. At first it seems very big because you gotta walk everywhere. But then you discover everything, and it's much more manageable. You put like your checkpoints down, because of course you can make your own fast travel points, which is kind of cool. And this world just feels so real. It's very weird to explain, because like I said, very old game. All right, it's just 480p textures, if that. You know, like there's a castle, there you go. It's like a little block thing, like there you go. But somehow they sell it. It's like Dark Souls, right? Where like they just sell it by level design and just. I don't have the words. I want to say like composition, like almost like an art form, right? And I just never get tired of walking through that thing. Like, it's funny because I think the director mentioned it, like fast travel is only necessary if your world is boring to like traverse. And I was like, okay, yeah, whatever, boy. But then I played the game, of course, like, oh my god. I get it now. Now, of course, there's limits to this. Obviously, I don't want to walk from Casardis all the way to the Great Wall. No, thank you. That's why we got the fast travel points. But that first time exploring the game, oh my god. You know, like, I hate open world games. I hate them. Just overwhelms you with, like, the sense of, oh my god, I'm gonna miss everything. But this game, because it's, like, small and it's like, manageable. Because that was my issue with, like, for example, let's say Elden Ring. Probably the most popular open world game out there. That's, you know, closely resembling Dragon's Dogma, excuse me. It's such a big and open world, and, like, you're doing catacombs, you're doing stuff, and you get, like, what? A bit of XP and like a ring you'll never use. Like, oh, okay, well, let's do it again, but like somebody else. Ugh. But obviously, that's an opinion, right? Some people like to just put hundreds of hours into a game and just like walking around and enjoying the game. That's completely your thing. It's not my thing. I much prefer like a concise, well-packaged deal. Like, let's say Dark Souls 3, for example. That game, you finish that game like around 8 hours, which you can do like on a weekend, right? Like fucking Friday afternoon. Just play through all Dark Souls 3 in like one go. You can do it. It's great. And guess what? You can like come back and I love that, right? And every like coin you take, there's all this like stuff to do. It's all like detailed to everything, right? Everything like handcrafted. I love it. Whereas with like big open world games like, let's say, Elden Ring, stuff like Valhalla, even to a degree The Witcher 3, which I think is also really big. It's nice. It's gorgeous to like run through, but there's no game. I don't know why I'm on this tangent again. I always bitch about this, I don't know why. I was talking about like how much I love Dragon's Dogma. Let's go back to that, eh? So yeah, stamina system is great. The world is made amazingly. The lore is fucking bullshit. The lore is you don't gotta play this game for the story. It's funny, like, you know, it's like Dark Souls Light. They're trying to be like all this like ooh mysterious, but they give you more information. But them giving you more information makes you realize like, oh my god, this is ridiculous, this is stupid. I mean, spoilers, I guess, for a 12-year-old game. But basically, it's like, oh yeah, God needs to get replaced, and so he sends a dragon to the planet, because if people don't fear death, how can they live? And then the dragon is gonna like fight somebody, like find a worthy successor, so he fights you, and then you become God, but then you realize, oh fuck, being God fucking sucks. So you kill yourself. This is... by the way, this is actual, and this is how you play the game. You have to kill yourself and repeat the process. That's the story. But of course, you don't know all of this for like the first like 90% of the game is just like, oh my god, we gotta kill the dragon, and that's fun. And then of course the fucking Square Enix ending happens. I'm very curious if they're gonna change the story in the second game, because it's fucking ridiculous. Now lastly, let me touch upon Bitterblack Isle, which is DLC that is now in the base game, but back then I think it was like a year later or something they added it, and it's basically like endgame. I just never expected having this endgame focused around like loot and farming dungeons and stuff in a single player game. And I gotta say, I really like it. And of course, that has a lot to do with the fact that the combat is so good. And you just want to go and fight stuff. You want to go like do different battles and like with different dragons. Maybe like combination of the two. Really fun. But the way they did it is pretty unique. There's no... what do you call it? Like self-generated dungeons? What do you call it? I keep forgetting words today. I don't know what's going on. It's not self-generation. generation? Procedural generated... My god. Hey. So yeah, it's an actual dungeon, like a big dungeon. And you know that like in those animes, they always go in the floors and like, oh, we gotta attempt the dungeon. And it's great. Like, it's really fun to watch. It is literally that feeling where like, you go in the dungeon, get a key to like, get the next part, get the next part, get the next... It's so much fun. And of course, in every level, you can get higher levels of like, I guess like loot boxes, which you can then open up, maybe get like really good gear. And of course, at any point in the game, because this is all like the whole like Bitterblack Isle DLC thing is like a separate thing. At any part, you can just do the story and with those weapons and do the like just do New Game Plus because everything just carries over the whole time. It's a very like free game, just like the weapons as well. Like, you're not tied to your level. Most of your damage comes from like your weapon. So if you pick up a very high level dagger in the dungeons, and then you whip out your rank 1, what do you call it, strider, which is like the daggers. You still have like the very high damaging daggers. You might not have all the skills, but you have the high damage, right? So you can immediately get to work with that class without having to like level stuff and blah 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 blah. You kind of have to level stuff, but that's still part of the fun. But it's actually usable in the content you are right now. Now the way the game is actually balanced, I'm not even gonna attempt to address. It's so weird, like the strength and the magic and the defenses. It's probably like one of the most unbalanced games ever. You can always like break it in some type of way, but it's fine. It's a PvE game, who cares? It's fun. Now I am excited for Dragon's Dogma 2, but I'm also kind of scared because I'm still riding the high, of course, of playing Dragon's Dogma 1 now, and you know, the 2 is gotta deliver. Like, will it deliver to someone like me who will just experience the wonder and just the amazing, like just perfect diamond that is Dragon's Dogma? Like, will it compare? I'm gonna compare, obviously. People who played like the game 10 years ago and like, oh wow, you know, oh, and then they play the second game, like, oh, it's like kind of nostalgic for like how they remember it. For me, of course, like I literally just experienced it right now for the first time, so I'm kind of scared. I'm not gonna like the second one. I already bought it. I usually never pre-order, and I don't even want to use like the pre-order bonus, like the better weapons you get. Like, what the fuck? No, I want to get the base weapons and then, like, you know, play the game. But I had to buy it. Like, I was like, I gotta buy this. Alright, I probably only said half of what I actually wanted to say. I've only said like a quarter of the stuff that I came up with in the shower. But that's what happens with these no script things. That's what happens when you speak in a weird language that you don't speak. But I at least feel a little bit relieved that I could shout this into the void. I know I keep like looking away from the camera the whole time. I don't know why. It's just it's like a habit. I'm just like doing this the whole time. Maybe because I'm stream, like reading chat. I'm just doing this the whole time. I'm sorry. I did it again! You saw that? Oh my god.